Okay, fine. Thank you for being here. Well, my name is Julio Castillo. I'm a professor of mathematics from Mexico, and also I am a programming a developer, web developer. I work on a consulting firm, and also, well, I am a enthusiast of the innovation in education. So because of that, I want to share with you this content about learning Python from the official sources. So I'm very glad that you are here. And well, today I want to show you how to learn the first step to learn Python from the official tutorial that is given to us by the Python Foundation. Okay, maybe you have noticed this. I am not that native speaker, and so this online classes, this streaming is also for me because I want to practice my English. So every remark, every suggestion is very welcome. Um, and so, also, if you have any question, any doubt about the material, please let me know. I am live on Twitch, and also, if you are seeing this video from YouTube, you are welcome to comment below anything you want. Okay. This same streaming or the same idea is given to you in Spanish. If any of you have any doubt about the language, and maybe it's not my best attempt, so you can consult this streaming also in Spanish. Maybe the timing will be a little bit different in Spanish and in English because these are live sessions. But well, it's more or less the same. So I I think that we can cover more or less the same material. In Spanish, I have been streaming about 2 weeks. So since 2 weeks ago, we have four or five classes more, but it's okay. Today we're gonna start this tutorial. So, how to learn Python from the official source? There are a lot of material, so this is maybe not the best tutorial, but I want to give you a glance how you can learn Python using this material that is very well written and also is free. That's great. So as you can see here in this tab, I have the tutorial de Python, the el tutorial de Python because it's in Spanish. This is the tutorial from the official sources, but we have the same version in English. And also, well, there are a lot of versions, so we're gonna use the version 3.10 because of the IDE that we will use online. Okay, so if you want to find this tutorial, it's pretty easy. You can go directly. Oh yeah, uh, Noir Pie, welcome. Yeah, this is the Mexican Google. If you want to check, well, the Mexican Google is indeed this one. Okay, this is .mx. And if you Google this, you can use Google Python official tutorial. So welcome Noir Pie. So this is the tutorial. Well, you can find this pretty easy. I guess that is the first entry in the Google when you Google it. Okay, and well, to program, we will use a platform. This platform called Replit.com that is free. Well, the things that we will need are free, but there are a premium version, a pro version, or something like that. But we don't need those features. So, okay, so don't worry. If you haven't used this before, it's pretty easy to sign up. You should go to replit.com. Click here in when where it says sign up. Okay, and you will have a lot of options. I think the easier one is continue with Google. If you have a GitHub account, you can use that, but it's mostly for programmers. And also you can use an email. Okay, for example, this is my email that I am using for this class. Okay, there are some options. You can choose the default options. There are no problem with that options. You can go with that. Okay, so then let's log in. In my case, I have already an account. Okay, I will log in. Okay, and this is Replit. And well, before beginning with the tutorial, I want to show you how to use Replit. What is Replit? At the end, Replit is like an IDE. IDE is for integrated developing environment. So it's a place where we can program using a lot of tools to make easier the developing of any script, any program, any system. Okay, it's easier to program in this kind of platforms. Let me show you a quick example. You can use this button, create REPL. When you click create REPL, you can go to Python, this one. If you don't see Python right here, you can just type Python. You will see a lot of options. Choose the first one, the default options. If you're planning to save this work, you can choose a appropriately title. I don't use this title. I will not change this title because it's a little bit complicated to share these replits in public. So because of that, I won't do that. But at the end of the course, or maybe at the end of the first part, I will share with you a repository from GitHub where you can download the material. Most of the material are in Spanish, but I am planning to translate the material to English. So because of that, I'm just using this to show you how to program. So let's use this random name. So let me create an REPL, and okay, let me check the chat in RPy. I'm trying to configure through you to much because I heard that you are trying to make a video. Don't worry, for me it's fine. I'm really love to chat with my students. So welcome any comment. So okay, and now we have this platform. Maybe it will take some more seconds than it takes right here in my browser because I'm using a direct connection to my modem, and this IDE could be a little bit heavy to charge, but well, it's just once. So let me explain what is this. This platform is based on an idea called REPL, not Replit, but REPL. Okay. So if you look for REPL in Wikipedia, here is in Spanish, but let's go to read about print loop. The idea is this. REPL are the first letters, an acronym for read eval print loop. What is that? Well, this is those are verbs related with the machine, not with us. Okay, the machine will read the code, eval or run the code, and then print some result if you want so. Okay, and then you can repeat the process. Okay, These three steps are present right here in the platform. Forget for a moment about this bar side. Here we're gonna write some code, okay? So this is the first step of REPL. Read. The machine will read your code, okay? Then the machine will evaluate your code when you click this run button. Then, and if you want to print something, it means that you will see the result right here in this space called console, okay? And you can go again, okay? So for example, let's say that you want to print something send some messages in the console, and say just hello, okay? Let me explain this code. It's pretty simple, but it's like a iconic piece of code called the Hello World program. In this case, this text with this how do you say in English? Spanish are comillas, comillas dobles. Okay, with these marks, I forgot how to say this in English. So if you wrap this text with these marks right here and right here, this is considered text that Python are not will treat like code, like instruction. Sorry, but Python knows that it could be processed in some way. Okay. In the other way, sorry. In the other hand, this text without the wrapping marks are text that Python will eval like a code, like an instruction. So in this case, it says print this string, okay, of characters, okay, fine. So let me show you what is going to happen if I click run button. It's running, and as you see in the console, you can see the text, okay. This is the most basic program that you will see, and this is very famous, the Hello World program. You can see this, for example, in Wikipedia, the Hola Mundo Hello World program. Okay, and well, the idea is that if you use this Hello World program, okay, this is a lot of. No. Let me check another because this is a lot of material. I think that I should go with the standard font. Hello World. Let me use this Hello World from Spanish because it's shorter than the English entry. So you can see these examples, the Hello World program in many other programming languages. The idea is that, well, this is pretty basic, but for example, for a very robust and widely used programs, you have to include some context before printing just this simple string. Okay. For example, we have here C and C++, two of the most used programs in the world. Uh, in this case, as you can see, you have to include a lot of code and a function and some returns. Well, it's not. It's mm, quite complicated to print the statement. And you, well, in this case, we have something similar to Python, but in C++, you have to use these two instructions that are not intuitive to know what is going with these two reserved words. So it could be complicated to write a program, or not to write, but to start a programming in these two languages, because you have to understand a lot of things. Okay, that is a disadvantage, but those programs are pretty fast and will have a lot of advantage over Python, but that's another thing. So I just want to show you the difference in this kind of programs, pretty simple programs. Okay, this is Java, another widely used programming language that is an intermediate between Python and C, the interpreted languages, the compiled languages, a topic for another class. And we have these other kind of programs that are called interpreted programs, mostly used for scripting. And one of those are JavaScript. JavaScript is pretty used. I am sure that you have used this language even if you don't know, because if you go to the developer tools in your browser using F12, you will see this console. And if you take this line here, copy and paste this line. Well, not copy and paste. Let me just type console log hello world. Okay, you can see that you can program right here. Okay, it's pretty amazing because you can program here in your own browser, and that's great. But well, it could be a little bit hard to program right here. So you can use an IDE and translate this code. Well, write this code in a file and run this code from using the IDE. Okay, we're gonna use Python, so forget about the JavaScript for a moment. And well, here you can see the statement for Python, pretty easy, right? The, we have right here Swift that is used for programming applications in the for the iPhones. Okay, so as you can see, this shows us how easy could be programmed in Python. That doesn't mean that Python is a programming language. If you look for which are the most the most popular programming languages in, let's say, in 2023. Okay. Well, you can see many entries. Let's go with E, and let me check. Okay, you can see. So Python is the most popular program, and if you change just for programming language using in an actual job, Python is the second most used program over Java, JavaScript, C++, pretty old and well built programs. Surprisingly for me, the most used programming language is SQL, but well, because it's used for databases. But well, that's it. Okay, and trending. Let's see, trending. Python is the most fashionable programming language. Okay, so if you learn to program in Python, it's pretty good because well, there are a lot of chances that you can use this even if you are not a software engineer. Because Python is used, for example, for a lot of applications like machine learning. Okay, for example, for machine learning, let me show you this library that well, it's a library sponsored by Google, and if you go for the examples, okay, let me just pick a random example. As you can see, these examples are written in Python. Okay, you can use this for example for software development. Okay, for example, this is the framework that is used that is most used with Python. It's called Django, and it is used for creating backends for web development. What else? For example, for me, a pretty useful tool when I was teaching in the School of Engineering here in Mexico is OR tools. And OR tools, well, are used for operation research. because of that OR is for operation research. And as you can see, well, this library could be used with a lot of languages, but you can use this with Python. Okay, so you can use this with Python to solve problems like, let's say, routing. Like, let me use a pretty simple example, but let me change it to English. For example, for routing, this library is used at Google for the Google Maps problem. Okay, so this you have a lot of problems right here, and you can solve very classic problems like traveling a salesperson problem. For example, a salesperson should travel along these cities, but well, we want to save the most of the gas that we can save. So we have to choose the shorter route here. Well, you can solve this using operation research, but well, you can hide the math part using a programming language. Let the library do the hard work, and well, at the end you can use this program that you can see here to solve this pretty complex program. Okay, so as you can see, that's the strength of Python. Okay, it's pretty simple program that serves to glue another solutions from other languages, because most of these solutions are written originally in C++ or C. But you don't need to. It's not necessary that you know how to program in C or C++, or you have a PhD in math. You can just use these solutions that are glued using Python, and believe me, this is a game changer. So that is the beauty of learning to program in Python. Okay, that's the idea. So now let's go back to the tutorial. Let me close the other tabs. So as you can see, we use this REPL, but well, the question is why in at first I told you to change the version. Um, Most of the version are more or less the same, but let's stick with the version used in this platform. And well, let's begin with the tutorial, and we're gonna investigate which version we are using. So as you can see, at first we have an introduction. It's more or less what I have told you just before, just one moment ago. There are a lot of topics, so I plan to cover most of this topic this year. Uh, so don't panic. We're gonna try to cover this in detail, but also I know that the time is short, so I will try to cover the most basic topics as fast as possible, maybe up to the data structures in the first weeks, and the other that are more complex or topics, or maybe needs more time, we will be covered in the rest of the year. Okay, so let's begin. We're gonna try topic by topic. The idea is not to read everything right here because it will be boring. Okay, so this is a section within your appetite. I hope that with this those applications that I have shown you, it's enough. So let's go to the next topic, that is using the Python interpreter. This is important because we're gonna use another way to program, not like here, but I want to show you what is the difference. So if you go to your IDE to Replit, you see this tab called console, but also there is another tab called shell. Okay, and well, this shell is what what is used in the Python tutorial. So if you are in a shell, it's like a terminal in your computer, you can type Python. Here they type Python 3.12, Okay, yeah, Python 3.12. Let me, let me type this and see what happens. Okay, and it says install Replit Python tools. Let's say yes. Okay, let's reload this environment. Well, no, sorry, stay on page. I'm gonna reload the web page, and it's needed to reload the shell. Well, no, it's reloaded already. Okay, and let me again type Python 3. What is going? Let me just type Python. Okay, there is. With this, you can install something, but as you can see, when I type Python, we got another thing. Okay, this is important, more or less, because when I type Python, we initiate this interactive shell. Instead using the system terminal, we are using the Python shell, the Python terminal, let's say in that way, and we can program here. It's not a good idea, but well, let's see what happens. But the version that is shown in this shell is Python 3.10.11. So because of that, I will use Python 3.10. I think that most of the features, most of the commands, most of the code that we will write in the next weeks are the same. I'm pretty sure, but version to version, something change. Okay, something change. So let's stick with Python 3.10. Okay. Okay, and what is going on here? Okay, here there is an example that I think is not a good idea to begin with. Well, so let me create my own example. When you see this three greater than symbols, you can use this like to instruct Python to do something. For example, let's say Python add 1 to 1, 2. Okay, Python print hello world, just like before. Okay, fine. Python assigned the value of 2 to x. Okay, and now multiply 3 times x, 6. Okay, great. You can see you can use this shell to program, but let's say that I made a mistake and I write 3x. Okay, well, it's gonna say that I have an error because for a multiplication we have to use the star. And well, if this is a pretty simple instruction, but as you can see, I can change the instruction right here. Okay, so I have to rewrite the instructions. You can use the up and down arrows to go to some instruction, and you can rewrite the complete instruction right there. But I think that is not a good idea. Okay. So because of that, we're gonna use the shell, but this is important to know because in the tutorial they explain everything like using the shell. Okay, so we're gonna do another thing, and also there are this cryptic section about the source code encoding, and this is because well there are some conflicts when you write your code in Windows or in Linux. Sometimes there are some problems with the characters, even with the blank lines. So because of that, they aware you about this problem, but this is not necessary for us because we're gonna use this platform. So this is the same platform for you or for me in every part of the world, so it's okay. And this is it. This is the first two, let's say, first two sections of Python tutorial. So let me go to the third one, and this is the substance of the course, like we say in Spanish. This is está la carnita. This is what we want to taste. This is what we're going to do the next week. Okay, So at first we're gonna have a informal introduction to Python. Okay, as you can see here, we're gonna do a lot of examples maybe for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And well, at the end of this week, you're gonna will be pretty familiar with the basics of Python. Okay, and you will write confidently a program to process some arithmetic operations, change some characters in a string, and use list to capture, to save information and process that information. And then we will, with more control flow tools, that is the next section, and you will see what is well, when you think about programming, this more or less this thing. When you think about programming, maybe you are thinking in structured programming, and well, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe it will take 1 or 2 months, we will see everything about structured programming. Mostly the if statements, for statements, while statements, how to use this in Python. And if possible, I will teach you something of mathematical logic. But I'm thinking that it's best to have a course of mathematical logic separately. So I am thinking to open a course, maybe like in like Sunday, Sunday. Sorry, my pronunciation. Sunday in the morning, because mathematical logic is another thing. But we will see something related. Okay, to use these conditionals, and this is what most of the people thinks about what that is programming, and that's okay. And the plan is maybe the third month we will know about these data structures, and when you know which kind of structure you can use in Python, it will be a game changer, because at this point you will be able to process a lot of real information from your job, from your school, using these data structures. Okay, and that's it. That is the plan, at least for the first course that I planning to give to teaching online. Okay. Okay, and that's it. I think that is more than enough for the first section. Is the first lesson. By the way, this is a special session because I want to record this session on Sunday. Sunday, because indeed the lessons are planned to be teached at Tuesday and Friday. Okay, Tuesday and Friday on Twitch. So please, if it's possible, please subscribe to the my channel. So it's an invitation, because I will schedule some special classes, and also to be aware when the classes is online on live. But also, if you want, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's in my Twitch profile. It's called Centro Turing TV. And well, in that channel, I will publish the recorded sessions. Okay. So I hope that we can meet in the next week right here. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, for your time, and I hope that that this first lesson um, encourage you to take this course. Okay, have a great weekend, and see you on Thursday. By the way, thanks you, Norpai, for being here, and see you. I hope we can meet in the Tuesday at Tuesday. See you. Bye.